what I did 50 years ago. He said, what the hell are you doing to my pants? Go ahead.
What are you going to pull?
Okay, go ahead.
Where did it all start, Rick?
Oh, I can't pretend to tell you.
What date did we meet?
April the 2nd, 1954.
How do you know that was the date?
Because you had just phoned your ex-girlfriend and said happy birthday and then called me.
How old were you then?
13.
13. I was 14. So it actually started about 8 years before this day, 50 years ago.
Oh, no, the other guy.
And where was this? Where did we meet?
Oh, you know what he wants me to tell you? I was pedaling my ass around North Vancouver.
No, you weren't.
I was pedaling on my bicycle.
Oh, I'm glad it was a bicycle.
So it is true that I can claim that I met you when you were pedaling your ass around the room.
That's right.
Ah, okay.
Besides which, they're so old they won't remember what the hell I was doing or you were doing.
Yeah. Where'd we go that night?
Ooh, we went babysitting.
And were you alone?
No, we had chaperones with us.
Oh, we had chaperones. Did we do anything that night?
Not that I recall.
You can't recall anything? Oh,
You might have given me a kiss.
I might have given you a kiss.
Yeah.
It was kind of like one end of the couch and the other end of the couch.
That's right.
We kind of.
Just like now.
That's what it was like. It's like that. Okay. And we went, what was it called? Steady?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're steady for how long?
Oh, too long. 7 years.
And how do we signify the steadiness? You know, what kind of symbols do we have for it?
I don't know what you're getting at.
Didn't you get a black diamond, not a real diamond?
Oh, I got a huge black Alaska diamond, and every night I went to bed thinking, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be white.
I had to wait 8 years or so for that.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't as big.
You should have taken the black one.
Yeah. I did have to.
Oh, yeah. At any rate, your father was kind of worried we were never going to get married,
Oh,
wasn't
was he ever.
he? Yeah.
He was tired of you sitting down for Sunday night dinners.
Well, JoAnn's parents were very good to me. I guess my bent for traveling came from them in many respects, because in 1957, which was a recession year, I couldn't get a summertime job regularly. And her parents happened to be going across Canada. JoAnn was either staying behind or they had to take Bill. So her parents took Bill right across Canada. Right, Debbie?
Yes.
Yeah, a long ride, wasn't it? And,
You got your 1/3 in the back seat and don't cross the line.
Keep your hands off my daughter.
And are we there yet?
We went right across Canada, and that was very enlightening to me. And we saw Ottawa, right into Cape Breton. When I got to Cape Breton, I couldn't understand a damn word they said. They speak a different language. And on the way back, we came back to the States, got to New York, and we saw Milwaukee Braves play. It was kind of fun. So I saw a little bit of the country, and that gave my interest to travel, I think, later years. We got married in '62. We were married by this time 50 years ago. And we spent 1 more year here in Vancouver while I finished up at IUBC.
That was the year I cooked for Gordy and Mike every
That's
Sunday.
right. That's
Just
right.
about.
It was every Sunday. That's right.
I'd get up in the morning, Bill would go to soccer practice, and I'd start peeling potatoes. And by the time he got home, potatoes were done. And Gordy and Mike arrived, and I had a roast, and it was probably about that big, but it seemed to me in those days it was that big. Just a minute, this reminds me of something. My friend Ann White, who got up a few minutes ago, she was up at our place. We lived in a basement suite when we first got married. Now, she was a spinster, unmarried. And she had the nerve to tell me how to iron Bill's shirts. I'll never forget that. She said, "Jo, you're not doing it right." I said, "Sorry, this is how I was taught." He hasn't complained in 50 years.
And then we went off to New York, 2 years in New York, then on to Libya, and then finally back to North Carolina to settle.
To raise a family.
To raise a family, yes. Warren and Lynn.
Doing the nano arm.
That's correct. That's right. Very true. Well, I want to talk about something personal.
Oh, not again.
Yeah. Personal but public. When we were first married, Betty Leavitt will probably remember this, Marilyn, we had conversations about religion, what religion was best. They were kind of fun conversations. And another one of those conversations was, what is love? And JoAnn was always, infuriated with me in our early years. Because she would say, "Do you love me?" I would say, she said, "Who do you love?" I said, "My mother." And she, kind of angry with that. I said, "I always said I love my mother." And I always had a little bit of problem with the word love because I really didn't know what it was. Now, I knew what lust was. And I knew that's where it started. But I wasn't sure whether lust was love. And so for the early part of our marriage, I always, was kind of silent when she said, "Do you love me?" And it was quite a long time, maybe 20 years or so. And finally, I started to say, grudgingly, "Yeah, I love you." And then maybe a little bit more later, "Yeah, I love you." And then to say I love you became easier for me. And so that was maybe 30 years ago. And then in the last 20 years, the ability to say I love you became much, much easier. And I must admit, when I sit back and reflect upon what is love, I know that I have found it. And I know who has taught me love. And that's my woman right here. She's the one that's taught me love. So lust to love, there's still some lust there too. But my dear, you're the one that taught me love. So I love you.